So we had the definition for the numbers from 0 to 9, and in this video I'm going to go into more details about each definition. As you see on the screen, instead of having the symbols for the numbers from 1 to 9, you can have 9 1 next to each other, or 9 parallel line that are sitting next to each other, and if we count them, we will count the same things but with other symbols. So just imagine that you have also 0, which is in the list and does not mean anything. When we say something does not mean, if we look from another point of view, it can be in this way that we don't know about something, so we are at 0 point in knowledge about that subject. We can call it 0. For example, I don't know anything about nuclear energy, so it's 0. My knowledge is 0 about that, but it doesn't mean that it does not exist there. It is there, but I have no access to it, or I have no knowledge about it, or I have nothing to even imagine about that. So the whole world, the whole universe, and also the parallel worlds around us are there, but we don't see them, we don't feel them. There are varied subjects in our known world even that we have no relation or internship with them, so we don't know anything about them. Just imagine all these things as a whole knowledge in that field, but they are unknown to us. So 0 is the wholeness but unknown. It means it is still there, it's still out there, standing there, but we have nothing about it to say, or we have never ever heard about them. Wisdom, or number 1, is the tube or the channel that connects us to this 0 world. It means the knowledge is there, we have no access to it. When we find some sort of access to that, or we find a tunnel to dig into and have access to the things that are there, but we are not aware of them, or we have no knowledge about them, and will help us to access the things that already exist beyond our sense, beyond our knowledge, beyond our feelings, beyond our experiences. You know, if you have no idea about being homesick, you will not understand it. If someone say that I have felt homesick, so what, it doesn't mean anything to you. When you have some sort of experience, then this word is going to be meaningful to you. From now on, if someone complains about homesick, you will understand what he is talking about this. So the homesick was standing somewhere that you had no access to it. You had no sight, no insight, no not any special type of meaning. So number 1 is actually the tube, or is the tool that will give meaning to the things that already exist anywhere in the universe, in material world, or even in metaphysical point of view, that we have no access to them. Just imagine when you have zeros on your 0 on your paper, it does not mean any number. Also, nothing to count. But if you have 10 0 next to each other, it doesn't mean anything. But as soon as you put or you add a 1 in front of them, you will have something that is giving you the meaning. So now you see a new number that has a meaning. It is going to give meaning to all those 0. So wisdom is something that is not acquirable. You cannot learn it from anywhere. It's just by being there, somehow put light to what is unknown. Wisdom is not something that you can learn. It is not something that you can to school or learn it from someone or experience it and then you say, okay, I've learned this and this is my understanding from this phenomena. It's just by being there will give the meaning. So the zero is there without meaning, and when you have one, then you have some sort of access to that unknown, and this will give you a kind of meaning. Number two is knowledge. Knowledge is when you have something that is already there, or you share something and a sort of wisdom with other people's, or you get understanding from other things that are known to you. Let's say if the zero is unknown, and when number one sits next to it, it will be 10 as a wisdom, but you learn that now you have something like numbers that you can put them together and come to new numbers. So this is knowledge. It means something that is accumulated through cooperation with other known things. It's one step less than wisdom. So wisdom is the knowledge that it comes automatically, it's there and will be declared to you without any middle things, without any middle tools. But knowledge is where you acquire something through a middleman, a middle object, a middle tool, or whatever. When we finish this part and we come to the calculation of these numbers, then we will have a better understanding of what I'm going to talk, and also you will find the patterns that are actually in front of our eyes and we don't see them because we don't have any understanding about them. So number 3 is about duration. Number 3 and number 6 are not in range of these numbers that we currently use. Number 3, number 6 and number 9 should be separated from this list. Number 3 is talking about duration of the whole time, and if we want to have some sort of separation, it's past, present and future, the whole time, I mean. Whenever it comes and we see the number 3, it's somehow a connection between number 1 and 2 will take a duration if you want to have a connection between number 1 and 2. And so number 3 is created through these 2 numbers. It's the duration that a wisdom can be changed to knowledge, but the knowledge can help somehow for a better understanding or a sort of wisdom. So number 3 also needs some samples, that when we go to the samples we will find out more about this. Number 4 and 7, which are very famous also in other beliefs, in spiritual methods, in religion, they have varied type of meanings, but the meaning that I'm going to give them is the cycles. And number 4, although it's smaller in size from 7, but it's covering big cycles. They are turning points, and when we have these numbers, it means that we will have some sort of change, or that the circle is going to be finished. When it's come to number 7, the speed of this cycle is faster, or the time that takes, let's say the number 3 goes much faster in 7 to make smaller cycles. You may have more cycles but smaller cycles. Let's say, let me give you an example to understand. We have 7 in weeks, 7 days in week. We have 7 cycles, but it will come to a totality of a week. But we have 4 in seasons. We have 4 seasons. So they are big cycles. Did you get what I mean? It means we have bigger cycles in number 4 and smaller cycles in number 7. So let's say that number 7 is in hurry, it's rushing, it's a rushing number, but it's also a turning point. It's like exactly like number 7, when like number 4, when you have number 4 and number 7, it means you will have turning points that will change the direction totally. And number 6 is the number of time. As I told in previous video, it's very similar to number 3, but it's talking about the time itself and not about the durations. Number 6 may have also very different types of meaning in other cultures, in occult knowledge, and spirituality, religions. Some call it the number of Satan, but it's not number of Satan. It's a 666 is a damn number, something like that, but I don't believe so. It's number of time. And the best example that I can give you is through your daily time. And if you look at your watch, you will find number 6, that it has its pattern over there. You have 1 second, which is 16 seconds, and then you have 60 minutes, and then you have 12 hours, which is also if you change it to the root, you will come to also number 9 and 0 should be separated from the list. Then we come to number 5. Number 5 is the balance, is the somehow related to number 8, which is fulfillment. Number 5 has close relation to number 7. It means it's in hurry, its steps are fast. If we want to assume some sort of cycle for it, it will be very similar to number 7, that is in hurry to finish something, to get back to its balance. And number 8 also is the same as number 5. It's fulfillment. It doesn't matter if it is balanced or if it is not balanced. It means that something is finished, something is done, something is in its ultimate position or situation. Number 9 is standing alone, comparing to the other numbers, with close relation to 0. It is the whole consciousness, the whole awareness. The word of meaning is number 9. All other numbers are somehow inside this number, can find their own meaning. It means if we have wisdom, it's a part of consciousness. If we have knowledge, it's a part of consciousness. If we have the feeling of duration, time, present, past, futures, if we have balance, if we are unbalanced, if fulfillment, all of them are somehow in inside number 9, and its relation to 0 is that both of them are unknown, but number 9 is covering also the 0 when it's meaning, when we have meaning for it. Let's say it's the difference is between positive and negative. If you want to have the polarity for numbers, then we have number 9 on the positive side and we have 0 on the negative side. It's actually the same thing, but in 0 you have the lack of knowing, but in number 9 you have the whole knowing. So this is, I think, the full but brief explanation about these numbers. Then I have to bring some examples to let you know what is going on in their pattern and in their meaning.